There have been tons of videos where people tried to make a bomb from scratch in 24 hours and I wanted to beat it. But not just by a little bit, I thought I could get a bomb from scratch in under 4 hours and in free to play. What I didn't know at the time was this was going to go horribly wrong and right at exactly the same time. Of course, to do this, I needed an advantage, and that advantage was fresh start worlds. So because you can't use the G straight away on a new account, I used an existing one but restricted it to free to play. The first thing I did was teleport to Ferox and picked up 3 planks with some starter GP. Sold them on the G and bought 100 jugs for 2 GP each. But whilst buying runes to teleport to Falador, the air runes would not buy for even 20 GP. Now you may be wondering what the hell is going on, but you see, there aren't many bots in Fresh Start Worlds because there aren't enough players for the demand. So some prices are a little bit crazy. I completely changed my plan, filling up the jugs of water on the way to buying some air runes and put them on a G for 20 GP each. The jugs of water insta-sold for 172 GP each. That's right, yes, jugs of water. This is what a world without bots in old school RuneScape would look like. That gave me just enough money to buy 1,475 jugs, but I teleported to Valley because a water source is right next to the bank and fill those up too. After just 35 minutes the jugs were in the G for 219k and the air runes had sold for 20 GP each. So now I had more cash and I could buy a decent amount of them for just 4 GP each in Varrock. I bought 5,000 in just a few minutes, which at 20 GP each would be 80,000 GP profit. That could then get me 25,000 runes, which if I sold at 20 GP each would be 500k, you get the picture. I was well and truly on course to make a bond in less than 4 hours when something absolutely messed up happened. The air runes insta-sold at 2.5 million GP, which was 500 GP a rune. In shock, it actually took me 20 seconds to realise it would probably be a smart idea to go and buy some more bloody air runes. At that price, even Fresh Start World players will be shocked, but less so than the 07 players because stupid stuff happens all the time. This is just the extreme level. Drew, who is a friend of mine, sent me this flip that he's been doing. He was buying superior dragon bones for 15k each and selling them for 50k. Anyway, when I came back with another 11,000 air runes, half of them also instant sold for 500 GP each. Would you believe it? Just enough for a bond. So I had a crazy dilemma. I just made a bomb from scratch in 43 minutes, but it looked as fake as some other content creator I'm far too professional to mention. So I sat on this clip for 3 weeks until now with no clue at all what to do with it, and I figured why not show you just how completely nuts this game mode is and how easy it is to make money here in every single way you can think of. Another advantage of this game mode is that there are very few players, so all of that content you normally have to fight over is pretty much dead. So I bonded up the account, dropped everything and started from scratch all over again and banned myself from doing any previous ways I made GP. I stole just enough GP to get through the Shanty Pass, ran down to the Agility Pyramid and did one lap for 10k. Teleported to Ferox, ran the GE, bought some runes and went to Lumbee. I bought out the grapes and chocolate bars and a few other items just to test them. The chocolate bars insta-sold and the grapes for 800 GP each. This game mode is just messed up. The pat of butter also sold for 220 GP, so I added that to the list of things to buy. I took the minecart to Keldagrim and bought out the coal in every world. It sold for 200 GP a piece and I already had enough for a Dragon Sim. But things can take a while to buy here, so I went back to the chest in Lumbee to buy some more things whilst I waited, which made me enough money for a glory and some rune gloves for a basic melee setup. Herbs are expensive in Fresh Start World, so I could now kill Chaos Druids and every 15 minutes or so go back to fully restocked chests in Lumbridge, which were making me 100k a trip. The only problem with Fresh Start World is there's just a few worlds. You can't just keep hopping and buying from shops, they need time to restock. So after that I bought out some more coal, picked up an anti-dragon shield and killed some green dragons. That bought me everything I needed and left me with 100k in the bank to be able to go to Revenants. These worlds are so dead I wanted to know just how long it would be before I actually got attacked by a PKer. I didn't upgrade my gear or buy a magic switch to freeze log. In fact, the only escape I had was a summer pie that let me hop over the agility shortcut. It actually took almost 4 hours before I finally got attacked, and if you go to Rev Caves you know it's hard to even go 15 minutes without seeing a PK. So here I was doing one of the best money makers completely in peace, apart from 2 PKs who couldn't beat the most OP item in Oldskool Runescape, the summer pie. You normally make bank at revs, but sadly I didn't get a single unique in that time, so only made about 4 million GP. But imagine how much you can make on a new account with 60 or 70 range and low combat level. There's practically no one to kill you. If you think all of that is crazy, wait until you see what you can make just standing at the GE. But first, since it had been about 3 weeks since I got a bond, I wanted to test out some of those items again to see if it's changed. I tested balls of wool and they've actually gone up to 249 GP. Absolutely insane for an item you can literally buy 1 square from a bank. I tested arrows and arrowheads from the archery guild and in just 2 minutes made 64k. I spent 1 million GP on chaos runes and Varric in 1 minute 46 seconds, which is a free to play item, and sold them for 464,000 GP profit. That works out at 15.7 million GP per hour, and the best current free to play method in 07 according to the wiki is 612k. I bought some uncharged glories for 10.7k, charged them and sold them for 14k each, even though in the main game you lose money because the price of an eternal glory is so high right now. I bought thread for 1 GP each and sold it for 98 GP. 125 3-dose prayer potions was 693k. I walked 10 steps, changed them to 4-dose potions, and those sold for 771k. If you think that high alching is good money on 07, you can buy Onyx Bolt tips here for 7,852 GP, about 600 GP cheaper, and battle staffs at 8k each, 1,300 GP below alch price. At the sawmill there's actually a stock of nails in there that you can buy, and I bought a loop half of a key for 1 GP. And the most insane part of all of this for me is actually that when I do money making videos it takes me days to find one good method. I spent about 3 hours here testing different things and it was just like printing money, over and over again. There's obviously many more out there that I haven't even tested yet, and to find them you just need to keep a couple of things in mind. There aren't a lot of buyers, so you have to pick items that players use a lot of or they just won't sell. And if doing shop money makers, the stock doesn't replenish fast enough, so you have to pair those up with other things. The only thing more overpowered than making money on Fresh Start Worlds right now is in fact the summer pie.